Another motherhood comparison season again. I kind of mentioned this earlier this summer, around the Olympics time, when, all the moms were doing great, and, even like with CrossFit Games, like there were some women who were pregnant and announced that they were pregnant after the games. Just like, moms are killing it, moms are doing great things. Back to school time, and this is my kids' first week back, so I've been a little radio silent. It's really one of those times that's like super ripe for comparison. So like, my kids are in these sports, or packing the Insta-Perfect Pinterest lunch for your kids, and or my kid eats this, or my kid eats that. Anyway, comparison. It's like this pitfall for motherhood and exercise, postpartum bodies, like all these opportunities for comparison. That's why I hate like before and after pics, and people that walk out of the hospital in their pre-pregnancy jeans be like, I did it, you can do it too. I'm like, there's a lot of variables there. Anyway, that's actually what I spent a good amount of Tuesday in clinic talking about with people, is like, realistically, and several of these moms were within, I think, 7 to 9 weeks postpartum, and some of them first kid, and some of them sixth pregnancy. Like, what should I expect? And I think that's the hard thing, is there's so much variability in just life period, so much variability in bodies, so much variability in our kids, that it's not an algorithm, but yet we try and take this and plug it all into that in social media. And so actually tomorrow, we did this interview earlier in the summer with Dr. Sierra Kirkpatrick. You probably saw her research in the media earlier this year. Basically, like, is social media bad for mom comparison, and like these mommy influencers that show you how perfect it is, and you're like, that ain't my freaking life. Or they show you their perfect postpartum body, and you can do it too. Like, so I had seen these articles, and I reached out to her, I think late spring. We chatted, I think, in June, and really dove into the research and what she found, and how she found it, because she was a mom in 2020. Like, that's the resources that moms had in that first year of the pandemic, and kind of how she was being targeted and how it made her feel. And so we have a lovely conversation. That episode comes out tomorrow. So you can listen to that on your podcast platform of choice, or we also are up on YouTube. But I feel like, and the reason why I wanted to make sure this episode dropped this week is because, again, we have these times, kind of just generally, that are super, I think, triggering, and this is definitely one of those times of year. So make sure you catch that episode tomorrow. But yeah, tell me, like, whether it's been like kid food, breastfeeding, diapers, workouts, like where have you caught yourself, like, in that algorithm of like, oh my God, this is what I should be doing, and no, my life is not this. And kind of what did that do to you comparison wise? Like, were you like, whatever, you can recognize it for what it is? Or do you recognize it for what it is, but it still makes you feel really shitty about yourself, which is not okay? So would love to hear kind of your experiences about that. And then let me know what you think when you hear, when you listen to that episode with Dr. Sierra Kirkpatrick, again, on motherhood comparison and social media. I think you guys are going to love it, because I think we've all been impacted by it. So let me know.